Hello, it's Ben from TriWizard Gaming, and we're back, jumping into another ranked Ravnica Allegiance draft, best of one, working our way up to Mythic by the end of the month. Let's see how we do. Okay, Bedeck is a great removal spell. Just a 2 mana, instant speed, kill anything with 3 toughness or less. Bedazzle, not really worth worrying about. I imagine there's some circumstance where it would be okay. Clamor Shaman is also pretty good. Just good in any aggressive deck, gets away a blocker. Mortify is great removal. Mortify might actually be better than Bedeck. It is 2 colors. Bedeck is, I mean, the fact that you can cast it for either black or red means that you can play it in straight up Rakdos or Gruul. If it was black-red, I actually think the 1 extra mana for Mortify to destroy any creature or an enchantment is better. So we're going over flexibility with the actual spell versus flexibility with the, the draft. And I think flexibility in the draft is more important with pick 1. There's nothing else in the pack that's really compares to these two. I'm gonna go with the rare and the more flexible pick. Okay, Gates Ablaze is a build around, but it is a bomb. It is a 3 mana sweeper. And, I mean, it is getting tiring drafting a bunch of gate decks, but I believe it is the strongest card in the pack. We could definitely take Sunder Shaman. It's just, again, a very strong card. If we want to go straight Gruul, you'd have to have a pretty committed mana base to cast these CC/DD spells, but it's a 4 mana 5/5 that can blow up their enchantments for free. It's much stronger than any other card in the pack, these two. The Sphinx is good, but I mean, it's not even amazing. So, do we want to do a Gates deck? Or, I mean, this is a pretty hard commitment into Gruul, so it's a little early second pick to be taking it. If we had already had a few signals or we were in Gruul, I would take it. I think it's worth taking Gates Ablaze at this point. Okay, Skewer. Well, we have 2 good common removal spells here, and we could play either with Bedeck Bedazzle, but the fact that we have Gates Ablaze as well makes me think that I want to take Skewer. It's just great cheap removal. If we get like a very low curve Rakdos deck, then having these 1 or 2 mana removal spells is just really good. So it might even be overall a better card than Grotesque Demise, but they're very close. So we'll take Skewer. Blade Juggler is great. Again, the Clamor Shaman's pretty good, but it looks like Rakdos is open. At least from this pick, it looks like Rakdos is open more than Gruul. So we might have dodged something by passing the Shaman. Still a little early. It's only pick 5. Okay, a Guildgate would be good. The Colossus. How does they haven't fixed this yet? I mean, it just goes in so many decks. The best Rakdos deck is a very low curve, very aggressive deck, which is not great for the Colossus. Carnival Carnage is a good card if we want to be sending those signals. But I mean, with this, what we really have here is we have 3 removal spells, a Blade Juggler, and 2 gate cards. So we can go either way. We can go hard gates, or we can still just forget about the Colossus and go hard Rakdos. None of these cards are amazing. They're all good. Dead Revels, Burning Tree Vandal, and the Recluse are all good Rakdos cards. I think we'll take the gate, because even though these are good, Gate Colossus and Gates Ablaze are just broken with a bunch of gates. And being able to take an on-color gate like that is just good. All right. Here I'll take the Roustabout. Basically, I'd be looking at Rakdos Roustabout, the Recluse, and the Dead Revels. Roustabout's going to be good with these colors, whether we're playing a really aggressive deck or even just a regular deck. Dead Revels is better if we're trying to grind out. They're both really good cards. Okay, Plague White is a great aggressive creature. We could be taking another gate. But I think we'll have plenty of time to take gates when there aren't aggressive creatures in the pack. So we are kind of hedging and going back and forth here. All right, here I think the best card in our deck for either case is the Rakdos Guildgate. And I don't think we're going to need Ill-Gotten Inheritance. It is a good finisher for Rakdos. This is better played as a Lava Axe, or just a way to kind of finish off your opponent, than trying to leave it on the battlefield for 20 turns. Because it doesn't play defense. But it is still a good card. I mean, it's just, for this effect, which is usually not a good effect, it's a very good rate on it. So it's definitely been a good performer. Let's see. I think it's still worth taking the gate. Bladebrand's pretty good if you can trade off and draw a card. The Debtor's Transport is very meh. So I'll take it. Very late. It's surprising that this card wheels. This is a good card. Guess put that on the sideboard. All right. Do we want to splash for a Planeswalker? We would be passing up a Skewer the Critics. Unfortunately, Shark to Crab is nowhere near our colors. It's a really great card. This card's not particularly synergistic with our deck, but I've played against it, and if you're stable, it's just it has a lot of loyalty. It can give you card advantage, and Ramp and Riot is a strong ability. Actually, I think if we're playing this full-on gate deck, we should be able to pick up some Gruul Guild Gates to splash it pretty easily. Yeah, I'll take the Planeswalker. It might be thinking I'm crazy, even considering Skewer. I mean, clearly, if we wanted to go straight up Rakdos, then you would want Skewer over the Planeswalker. But I think you can get a lot of value from this. It can help find our Gate Colossus.
Nothing like a bit of violence now and then.
Yeah, violence. It's a weird accent, considering we're in Ravnica. I always kind of expect the... yeah, I mean, Ravnica is kind of based on this, like, Eastern Europe city architecture names. I don't know what type of accent that was. But, not quite what I expected. I think we should be able to cast this Fire Wheeler. It's on color, and it's not like we're passing up much. Drill bit's okay, you know. Gruul Beastmaster's good, but we're not really green if we're gonna splash it. And the guild gates are the wrong color, so we'll take a Fire Wheeler. Okay. I'm basically looking between Plague White and Gateway Plaza. We don't have a lot of 2-drops, so I'll take the Plague White for now. I don't love Gateway Plaza. We already have a Carnival Carnage. I don't want to play 2. I mean, if you draw 2 of these, it's like... The first half sometimes comes up as a useful removal spell, and you shouldn't be scared to cast it for the first half if you can kill a good creature, especially getting the Terramander. The turn 1 Terramander before it becomes a 5/5 is great. But any 2/1, like 2-drop, like if someone plays a Plague White against us and you can just ping it off, it's pretty good. But, I mean, if you play a Mind Rot or any effect that makes your opponent discard 2 cards, like, you're only going to get one of those off in a game that has any value. By the point you cast the second one, they're not going to have any cards left in their hand, and it's just not valuable. I like the looting on this. Maybe we just want a defensive creature. Defensive creature to protect our Planeswalker. Build up to Gates Ablaze. Yeah, I'll try that out. Well, I haven't played the Crocodile. I'll try it out. Okay. Rakdos Guildgate's good. I definitely like the on-color better than the Gateway Plaza. Though we do want something that'll help us splash for green. I think it's a good time to pick up Dead Revels. Good grindy card. Yeah, every Guildgate in this pack has been Azorius or Simic, which is not great. Dead Revels gets worse, the second one. I guess we'll take it. It's very unlikely that I would play the Grizzly Cat. Grizzly Bear Cat. Alright, Fireblade Artist. So this is the last pick. Yeah, so we're not going to get any on-color gates unless the all-color gates come around, which maybe they will. Oh, Orzhov. Orzhov's not too bad. We could even splash a Thrall. How many gates we got? We got 4 on-color gates. I want more. Gates Ablaze does take a lot of gates to be good. Gate Colossus is already good with like 4 gates. But Gates Ablaze gets much better with a high number of gates. So I'll take that. Blade Brand just cycles. I think Drill Bit's okay. And yeah, definitely not going to play any of these. Take Cement Guild Gate just in case. At least this is on color. All right. So even with all these gates, man, do we just have enough to go like 5 color? There's options here. So Light Up the Stage is good card draw. Zagana is just great. I mean, right? It's an 8/8 trample. We don't have much to enable the first ability. We basically don't have many creatures with counters on them, unless we have Domri in play. We could take another Gate Colossus, which would be great in our deck and might just be the pick. Get the Point is good. How much removal do we have? We started off with a lot of removal. And we ended up with a lot less. So we have Bedeck and Skewer. And, you know, we don't have any removal to take away a big thing. So I'm basically, I mean, Light Up the Stage has been great. It's been great and constructed, and I've played it, and it's always been good. But it's not always great at the point where you want to cast a cheap card draw spell. And so the thing is that because you only have until the end of your next turn to play the cards, if you cast it on turn 3 or 4, you know, what's so great about like Divination, which is 3 mana, draw 2 cards, is that it helps you find those land drops. And so you can cast it to help you find those land drops, but then if you draw a 5 or a 6 drop, it just gets exiled and you lose it for the game. So it has a little bit of that dyssynergy. You know, if it's later in the game, then you'll be certain to be able to use both cards. You know, whether you draw 2 lands or 2 spells, but it's less valuable at that time. At that point, it's like having the fact that it is a 1 mana draw 2 is worse. So it has this. It's a little more awkward in limited than it is constructed, because in your constructed deck you can just build it all with 1 and 2 drops. And so it's just this cheap mana draw 2 that draws you 2 lightning bolts, and you can, you know, use them 95% of the time. So I'd go with the removal or the Colossus. I think we want another Colossus. I think it's just so broken. If you cast that on turn 5 or 6, so Collision is decent removal. If we end up playing, like if we just end up playing all of these gates, do we have enough blue for Gateway Sneak, or is it better to just take the Rakdos? What does this do? This is not great. I mean, replicating a Gate Colossus is good, but we're actually not a base green gate deck, so this is going to be tough to cast. And this is also pack 3, so we have to look at our playables. Deck Colossus. These are all playables. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 19 playables. Yeah, we only need a few more. So I think taking an on-color gate here is good. I think Amplifier is going to be really good in this deck. We have some big creatures that it can copy. And I haven't played this enough to know that it's really good, but it seems really good. um, yeah, I think this will be a strong creature. Okay. We could... Oh, final payments removal here. Yeah, I think we want the removal spell. I think this should be pretty easy for us to cast. All these Orzhov Guild Gates. So we could take a 4-drop or another Orzhov Guild Gate. I think we won't... Or bring to trial. Again, we don't have much to... We don't have anything to remove a big creature. Let's take the gate. Okay. I'll take the removal here. A little bit happier with that removal spell. We'll never be able to cast Frilled Mystic. And I think we easy Rakdos Guild Gate there. Can we even use this high alert? I mean, wait, it's not good for 2/1s. No, no. Combat trick. I think we just want a death touch. Put up the defense. Are we going to play these Azorius Guild Gates? Right now we have 4, 8 on-color gates. We could even play these guys to help cast Domri, which would be 10. So our mana should be very good, which means I don't think we're going to play the Azorius Gates. Let's take another Death Toucher. And 1, 2, 3. I mean, I don't know how this card wheels. 1, 2, 3. We might be able to just splash that. Yeah, I'll take another one. So, yeah, we're not going to play any of these. So, the draft did not go amazing. I definitely was waffling around back and forth a little bit. I think we could have drafted a very low curve, aggressive, straight up 2-color Rakdos deck. And that might have even been better, but I think this deck is going to be very strong. We have so many gates that the Gates Ablaze is going to be great. 2-gate Colossus is going to be great. We're going to be casting this several turns early, right? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if some games we just go gate, 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 and play Gate Colossus on turn 5, and it just wins. We're 2 cards over with 17 lands. I mean, Domri kind of messes up the mana a little bit, because we're playing these off-color gates that we would rather not. Let's just look at the colors with the way that they've laid it out. I don't want to play an island. So if we play 17 lands, they've given us 2 black, 5, 6, 9, 10 black, 1, 4, 5 red. 5 red is not enough. For white, we have 2, 5, 6 white. 6 white is plenty for Summary Judgment. I think the Vizkopa vampire is very easy to cut. Could cut 1 Dead Revels. Our deck's already going to be kind of slow. I think we could play 18 lands. So, with just our gates, we have 4 blue sources, which I think is okay for Gateway Sneak. I mean, this is much better to cast it early in the game. And then just draw a bunch of cards as you play your gates out. But it's okay late in the game, too. But I definitely wouldn't play an island for it. It might be that we just want to cut Domri. So how many red cards? Yeah. I think with the gates we picked up, it's easier to splash blue. Or maybe we just don't want to splash either of these. And go back to playing 4, 8. Just straight up 8 gates. I mean, with 10 black sources, we can definitely cut 1. Yeah, it's just if we cut the green, it also cuts our blue. They're both kind of doing the same thing, which is late game card advantage. Because they're not reliable enough to kind of give us the early game boost that we need. So we could put back in a Dead Revels, which is also a way to kind of get late game advantage. And let's see. Guess we could play the vampire. This might actually be good with the Firewheeler. Also could be good with a Blade Juggler. I've never played it though. I don't think it's just so situational. Alright, we'll just play a vampire. Alright, so at this point, I think we want to cut these guild gates. This leaves us 10 gates. The only white card is Summary Judgment and Final Payment. So we've got 2 white cards, and we've got 6 white sources, so no plains. Play a mountain. This leaves us 4, 7, 8, 11, 12 black sources, which is 2 more than we need. 3, 6, 7 red. So what is that? 10, 9, 2, 5, 6, 9, 10 black, 1, 4, 9 red, 5 white. I think that mana's pretty good. Alright, let's see how we do. Hooblies. Alright, this looks great. Alright, I think I'm gonna go Plague White into Fireblade Artist. And we have the Dead Revels, which is great. I'll trade either of these guys for the Sorophone. Another Sorophone. Okay, we can get the Fireblade Artist back, or just play out more power. Something that will trade with a hybrid right now. Happy to trade that off. He plays a 4/4 here. It does kind of stop us. Guess he's got a trick. That's fine. So now I can Plague White and Dead Revels back my 2 creatures. And play the Artist. Opponent missed a land drop. Hopefully we can hit another gate and play this Gate Colossus. Don't even need to. Unfortunately, they were stuck on mana. Probably had a bunch of blue cards in their hand. Which is why we did not play our Planeswalker. Feels bad. I mean, it feels okay to open a Planeswalker. Ugh. Here we have a Gruul Gate that we can set ablaze. 4 gates. Unfortunately, we don't have a play before turn 5 here, but we could cycle this. I mean, this is a definite keep. They kept 7. This hand could punish us. Very slow. But got all of our colors. Luckily the opponent's not playing very quickly. We've got good removal. Clamor Shaman. So we can't kill that yet. Next. Yeah, we can hold up final payment if we need to kill something big. If I play a big creature here. So we can go final payment on whatever they play here. Yeah. And skewer. Yeah, I think we need to just kill both of these. Otherwise, we're going to be taking a lot of damage. And here we'll play Orzhov, Skewer. Okay, phew. If he played something huge there, we'd be in a lot of trouble. But here, yeah, we need one untapped land. Can play Blade Brand here. 2 for 1 ourselves, but we get a card back. Is he gonna fight us? This is great. Yes. Okay. Okay. Is there any risk of us kind of... We don't have to attack. We don't have much to Dead Revel's back. That's good. One, two, three, four, five. Yeah. So here we just don't want to get cheesed out by some huge amount of damage. I'd even block the Axebane Beast because we can Gates Ablaze pretty much anything that they're going to play. I did for a second think about using the Bedazzle on their mountain. Which could set them back a lot. Yeah, Titanic Brawl. Yeah, so they get in for 5. If they play another creature and we can just Gates Ablaze, then we win. It's like we just can't lose. Is there any reason to not? I guess we can, if we Gates Ablaze, we could play the Vampire after. Yeah. Now we got the Lifelinker. Ah, Skewer. So I hope in the next week or two they actually tune these bots a little further to just not let you 6th pick Gate Colossus or have all these Guild Gates wheel. It doesn't happen when you go draft against regular people. Lots of people like drafting the Gate deck. I think it's fun. You get a lot of broken cards. But it gets... These cards are kind of so strong that... Yeah, this is an easy mulligan. Okay. That the Gate cards are so strong that kind of stops you from doing anything else. Unless you just force it, if you just force playing some other deck. It's a decent card to fix your draws. Matches up really poorly against the Footlight Fiend. Okay, so I think we're going to go Plague White this turn. Planning to go Orzhov Guildgate next turn into Amplifier turn 4. I'm happy to trade off. Even though they're playing an Esper control deck, which makes you think that they kind of want to go into the late game. It's tough to go into the late game when you have a good sweeper and these Gate Colossuses. Needs good answers for them. I mean, they could have answers for them. And we can get tempoed out here too. I think we should play Amplifier. Hopefully it turns into a 16-16. Can't block either creature because it would just die to the Plague White. Juggler is good. So yeah. 16-16. If we had a removal spell, we could just smash them. Let's see, we only have one creature. I think we want to play Orzhov Guildgate. I'll attack. They can't take 16. Forces the trade, which is better than holding it back to block. This guy can still trade with the Plague White. These are Dead Revels. I mean, I don't even know if he can attack. I guess he could attack. I mean, he's still at 19. Yeah, now he's a chump blocker. Juggler. Oh, that's great. I'm glad they blocked. Bounce. Alright, so I could final payment. That's okay. Do I want to final payment the flyer? I think so. You want to be careful when you do this, that you pick the correct target and the correct creature to sacrifice. Now we have 3. So I think at this point I want to Dead Revels and get my creatures back. So we're still on the defense. Need to find that Gate Colossus, our second Gate Colossus. Turn the tide here. Something like a Chillbringer would be pretty bad. I'll block that. Okay. So I think we'll play our 2 creatures. I'll play the Guildgate out. Unfortunately, we can't block the Plague White this turn, which means we're taking 4. I could have left up 2 mana to Summary Judgment the Plague White. Oh, he didn't attack anyway. I guess he's looking to chump block? Nope. Yeah, I should have attacked with the Plague White, I think. You can Summary Judgment the flyer. I think we need to hold back. Let me... just to give us a few more turns here in the air. It also helps us that if we draw Gates Ablaze, we can clear the board and without an Afterlife token. But we've drawn a few extra lands. I think we both mulliganed this game. Skitter Eel's really good. Well, he also drew the Blade Jugglers. That's why he's ahead on cards. 16. We're at 7. We also keep putting our Colossuses on the bottom of our library, which is a little annoying. Alright, 4/4. Fireblade Artist. I guess we save more damage by holding it back, but we can't block the Skitter Eel next turn. So if we attack, they trade, create 3 tokens at best. I think we want to attack here. I feel like the best thing we can do is that they trade, they make the tokens, and that we chump block this turn. We chump block the Skitter Eel and play Gates Ablaze. I don't know how else we can win. He didn't attack. Why doesn't he attack? Yeah, attack. Alright, Gates Ablaze, we're done. No, we're done. Let's see if he casts a spell here. No. So there was a weird interaction there, like, which I hadn't really thought of before. But you notice the amplifier, because of the way it works, is that you just reveal cards until you get a creature. And then it puts all those cards on the bottom of your library. Which makes it less likely for you to draw creatures. Which is... You know, you need 2 creatures in a row. Eventually, yeah, I mean, you're gonna have nothing but creatures after you do it, but it's not ideal. Overall, though, for a 4-drop, you did see it became a 16/16 and a 4/4 and a 6/4 and all these things. So I think it's worth keeping. It's not like we have a lot of options here. You know, I'm not going to play a 1/1. And I think we looked at the mana for this. I actually like the mana in this deck. I think it's fine. But just something to think about. When you have a card like that in your deck, like if you were playing it in a deck without many creatures, it kind of guarantees when it's in play that you're not going to draw those creatures. Alright, 4 gates. We can cast a Fire Wheeler on turn 5. It's a slow hand, but we can cast our removal spell and our drill bit. Luckily they're playing a defender. I think we'll play the Rakdos Guild Gate. Since there's no way we can cast Final Payment on turn 2 anyway. Yeah, this will let us play our 3-drop. So here, I think I'm happy playing the Plague White out. They can't block it with these creatures. It'll let us Fire Wheeler next turn. Maybe get some good tempo. Oh, they didn't attack. Alright, so... this is interesting. Chump block. So they still get the token. The token can't block either of my creatures, though. They need to do something. And we're playing a Gate Colossus next turn. So I guess they have Spectacle for their Blade Juggler. Yep. Which is good. Lost our connection. Okay, final payment. Well, that's good. I think I'll offer the trade here. Yeah, we can drill bit. I think it's better just put the Colossus out. We can drill bit next turn. They might have removal for it, but we have a couple Dead Revels and more gates to play eventually. Alright, well, that is a clock, and they gain some life. Oh, that's a good turn. That's a good... So they're tapped out. Plague White blocks Blade Juggler. They're not going to erase this Colossus. Let's drill bit them. You can play an Ill-Gotten Inheritance. I don't think it's going to do much on this board. Yep. They're already in chump block mode. So if we get to 7 wins on this draft, then I think we're hitting platinum. Still a long ways away, but promising at 3-1. I think the deck's pretty strong. Savvy Savage. Maybe related to the Macho Man, Randy Savage. Yeah. All right, not a good hand, but I think it's keepable. We need a Rakdos Guildgate bad. Okay, we can at least play our Death Touch. And if they have a really slow hand, we can play our Blade Juggler. I think it's definitely right to play the Death Touch out, because if it gets through, we can Blade Juggler next turn, which is what we really want to do. We want to just hit our land drops. Yeah. Oh, that's great. Yeah, so let's just play our Rakdos Guildgate and our Blade Juggler. Next turn, we can go Gate Colossus. And their Axebane Beast is not gonna do it. So here, I'll play the Colossus for 5, hold the gate in case they have something to kill it. And we're off to the races. Is it worth playing that? I think so. So that makes it a 2. So, well, -3. Yeah, it's still a trade. I think we can just play out our creatures here. And we should have close to lethal next turn. I mean, yeah, we have lethal. That's not going to do it. So do we have lethal? I can kill this. If he has a pump spell... If he has a pump spell, that could turn badly. I'm happy to attack with all. We have a huge life total. We've got Dead Revels to get our creatures back. We've got a Rakdos Guildgate to get our creatures back. Can't block the Gate Colossus. I just... You can do a lot with 5 mana, but... Yeah. Do I even care about that? Still... I think that's fine. Let's see. Yep. Well, this was a pretty good draw from our 2-land. Risky keep. Rumbling Ruins, not going to do it. They're just dead. I would rethink that block. Good game. Macho Man, Savvy Savage. Missed a little bit. Macho Man was awesome. The 80s, Macho Man, Hulk Hogan versus Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Rocky and Bullwinkle. We're going through all the 80s memories. Yeah, this is good. All right. So what's our play? I kind of like Plague White. Now they're probably going to play something huge here that we can't attack into, but if they don't, and we can attack, I like Drill Bidding. Oh, he gave it haste. So I'm happy to attack and get Spectacle here. Oh. Just traded off. Well. Well done. I could have played the Vampire, but I want to have the option of playing the Firewheeler next turn. Yeah. This could be a problem. What do I want to do? Let me play this Guildgate and the Vampire. Unfortunately, that's not something we can just kill with the Firewheeler. Yeah, I might have messed this up a little bit. Now he can attack and put a counter on it. Still think it's okay, if that's what he wants to spend his mana on. Man. I'm gonna try to drill bit him. Hopefully he doesn't have too many gates here. We need our Colossus. Yep. Now the gate Colossus can go back on. Yeah. So you can make it a 3. You can make it a 4, 6. You can play this for 5. Just getting crushed. He still has a counter. Man, so sick. How many counters does he have? 3. You can put more counters on it than I can play gates. I mean, so I'm not going to get it up to... I'm not going to get this Gates Ablaze up big enough to... And he's drawing so many cards, he's going to be able to get the Colossus back. Well, I do think it's right to get rid of the second sneak. Yeah, now he can draw 3 cards a turn. I guess his draft was more busted than my draft. I mean, I can't even block the 4/6, right? I have to like double block. Yeah, I can't block it. This is ridiculous. Five, 8. And that's gonna kill me next turn. Why didn't he attack? I'll concede. Why didn't he? Yeah, he should have attacked. I mean, I had nothing in my hand. This was a forced chump block. I guess I could have double traded in. So he could have attacked with both. And I either would have had to double chump or block this and chump that. I mean, yeah. All right. Well, need a win streak. That's why I was thinking so long about whether to play the Gateway Sneak. I mean, it just takes away games. It doesn't end games like the Gate Colossus does, but it just wins games by drawing cards. So this looks like another potentially broken draw. Okay. I'll play Orzhov Guildgate here to leave final payment potentially open if we need to kill something. And now we have the option of getting in there. I will decline. Now I can't hold up final payment if I play this gate. Let's just slow down a turn on these Colossus. Get some creatures out. Maybe we can use some removal on... Get him to use some removal on these creatures before we start playing the Colossus. Grasping Thrall. Yep. Decline. I've got Dead Revels. I'll send the vampire in. He wants to trade. Turn. So he has good mana. That resolves. That's okay. All right. I'll play the amplifier. I suppose I should have just attacked. Give him the chump check. I mean, I'm assuming he's going to block. Okay, so now Gates Ablaze becomes amazing. I'll decline that. And... do we... I think we save gate. It's going to be taking this. We take a lot of damage next turn. Yeah, maybe I should have played the gate. So I can play Dead Revels, Vampire, or Final Payment, and Dead Revels. Let's do that. I suppose I should have done that before combat. I would have been able to get in for an extra 2. I hadn't thought through the turn. Yeah, we might just get tempoed out here though. $6.14. I'll decline. Okay. 4 and you still can't play the lifelinker. No, we're dead. Wow. Good beats. Good beats. That was really disappointing, 4 and 3. But can't win them all.